Hello everybody, good evening. Welcome to the special edition. So this is the first edition. I am happy to have one of my successful students being a proud teacher. I'm really welcoming to my students to this special talk on design. With us, we have today Shivani Gadkari Kapoor, who was my former student in MIT Institute of Design. Now she's working in Accenture, Dubai. So it's like kind of long journey, but very successfully she grew up. We would like to hear from her the entire journey, the success story, and also she can also advise to the aspiring designers in Odisha and also to Odisha School of Design. And we are just setting up. Let's start without any delay. So I prepared some questionnaires, so I have to simply read out, and maybe we have to stick to the time frame. That's why I prepared some specific, very focused questions. So I am sure Shivani will be happy to answer those things. Okay, Shivani, let's start.
Of course.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's a very beautiful space and some beautiful people I'm meeting for the first time, and I'm looking forward to this talk today.
Okay, my first question is the questions I prepared is not like a kind of rapid fire.
Okay.
So it's like a friendly, we're talking between teacher and students, maybe we are just recapturing, those memories of the campus and need at Accenture. So can you just explain?
As in from student to today, I think it's been a long journey. Short for some people, maybe, but for me, it feels like it's almost been 8 years now. And I think I graduated as a product designer. From there, I transitioned to UX UI because job wahi mil rahi thi us time pe, to jo milti hai le lo. That was kind of a story, but I took it with a very positive attitude. I was like, okay, fine, I get to learn something new as soon as I'm out of campus. So I joined Accenture through campus recruitment, and they put me in a 1-month training to learn everything from scratch, right? Nothing that I've learned in design school because UX was not taught back then. So it was a very quick learning process, but once that month or two where I grasped a lot of UX and UI related things is when the career kind of kick-started, and then there was no looking back forward. So for a year, I worked in Mumbai in their office, and then they said there's like a project in Dubai. Are you interested to travel?
Oh, your intern was in Mumbai.
Yeah, as in my first year of a job after campus placement was in Mumbai, and then I went to Dubai for 3 months, and I used to travel back, go on a project. So I was like, all these perks, I was like, oh, fine, let's go travel to Dubai. Work kind of back then was a secondary motivation. It was more like, yeah, Dubai jaane ko mil raha hai, to chalte hain. But as in when time passed, I think I learned a lot of things, especially working in a city like Dubai where there are more than 70 nationalities, and yet Indians are extremely respected, and you still are feeling like you add some value in that work environment. So that was one of my key learnings in those 4 years where I worked for a telecom product. So I used to design their websites, mobile applications. They also had some it's a huge telecom in Dubai. So they would have these investment money which they wanted to have startup projects. So they would say, "Aaj ek food delivery app bana do, ya fir kal ek medicine delivery app." And I'm like, guys, you make mobile phone applications to recharge and tables, but they had the money, they wanted to invest it in other ventures. So that was a very nice period for me where I was still part of a telecom like an Airtel or a Jio, but I got to work on few other projects outside of my domain. And since the last year and a half, I've been part of a team called as the Center of Data and Insights. It's slightly different than your typical e-commerce, or it's more about analyzing data, which is not my expert domain. We have data scientists for that. But my job is to make it more user-friendly so that C-levels can look at a screen and within 30 seconds take a decision if they want to invest their money or not. So that's what I've been doing for the last year and a half. And of course, with generative AI, you must have all heard about ChatGPT and tools like that. So that helps a lot
Nowadays.
Yeah.
So before you what triggered you? Just one question before that.
Yeah.
Before you got into UI UX, what triggered you to choose the design profession? So I mean, why not engineering? Why not art?
it's a very funny answer, but I did a aptitude test. Because I come from a family of doctors and engineers, so obviously my path in life was to become an engineer. But I did some like वो 10th standard के बाद एक aptitude test होता है, and they said she would be better fit for a design school or something with creativity. And my dad initially was like, no way, like, you know, he thought I'm going to become an artist who like paints. And then I met Sarkar sir, who's a furniture designer, famous furniture designer in Pune. And he kind of explained my father that designers do make money. It's not like... and I went and saw his furniture and like the products that he made. It was not like fashion design, you know, something which is very off the shelf. So for me, it was like it opened, and then I met Satish Gokhale sir and went to his studio and saw the kind of like he had made these incubators for babies without electricity. And I was like, wow, like this is something which is going to the grass level in the villages where there is no electricity. वहाँ पे बच्चों को incubators expensive facility नहीं मिलती है. तो फिर seeing all of that, I was like, okay, fine, this is something really cool and I should pursue it further. So I was very clear I wanted to study industrial design back in the college thing.
So what do you learn, like, you know, like especially design principles and practices
Right.
in the design school, and how much like you were applying right now in
Absolutely.
the current scenario?
Absolutely using all design principles, Gestalt laws, UX principles, like, and I like as a designer, it is expected for you to use these words. Otherwise, it's a common sense, and anybody could sometimes tell you that this looks better than that. But I think knowing these principles or being able to explain it, not like as jargon to sound cool, but just that there's some study done behind by some people, and these are laws and principles which are tried and tested. It also gives the client a surety that the decisions that would be made, let's say if you're free option, yeah. So that always helps. We may not always throw around words like Gestalt laws and things like that, but principle of similarity or like flow or things like that, small words, yes. But in my head, I think I'm absolutely using design principles. Also Dieter Ram's good design, like the 10 principles, that I think has been subconsciously ingrained in my brain, though I may not remember the exact sentences, but like,
you know, the kind of the practical aspects, like, you know,
yes, exactly.
applicable. I'm agree with you, because in your UX, like a lot of times, like you need to like a group some elements, you know, so
Yes.
let's say like one paragraph,
Proximity.
proximity and all. So without that knowledge, like you are like a kind of floating in the air.
Exactly.
So that
And I would like to add one more thing, which I didn't know before I went and worked on ground, was also a lot of psychology study. Like we take it, I thought it's there, but like there are like cognitive principles besides design principles, which I kind of learned on the way, and it helped me kind of make some designs better. So yeah, I think psychology is also very important to understand customers and like the kind of decisions they would make.
Can you just recall any of your recent very exciting project you have done, added some kind of impact or value in your career?
I think I still haven't worked on that. Each project you always have that, But there are one or two projects that I did really enjoy. I had fun working on, but I still have to work on that awesome project. But this was one food delivery app which came across during COVID, and the program was a loyalty program. Like any of your bigger Me Too stores would have like these points that get collected, right? So the issue back then was you could use these points to go to a restaurant, eat, redeem food, or recharge your mobile bill or things like that. But when in COVID, right in the middle, nobody was going out. So like, what do they do with these collecting points that are being collected? So within, I think, 6 months, end to end, like from strategy, entire service design, entire UX UI design, coding, like it was a very agile process. And less than 6 months, I would say 3 or 4 months, we were like completely creating. And initially, it's like, am I just creating another Zomato? Like, you know, what value am I adding to the world? But in that city, in that context, and using those points, and also making regionally contextual offerings, right? Example, during Ramadan, people fast during the day, right? And they break their fast in the evening. And then they also eat at 5 a.m. in the morning, which is like the suhoor time where they eat and then they don't eat for the rest. So we introduced like a Sahur discount, and like, people could order at early 4 a.m. morning. So things like that did make me feel good.
Yeah.
I guess.
So you said like the agile process,
Yes.
so design thinking, that is what is like you people are applying
Yes.
Accenture.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what is the specialty about agile? I know you can.
So,
Yeah.
from people who are into coding and development would know this, but generally, in a traditional system, which is called a waterfall method of working,
And this new different.
yeah,
agile.
this is all part of project management, less of
Yeah.
design. But there are like one department completes their work, then transfers it to the next department, and then to the next department. So the output time is very long because everybody is in a pipeline and waiting for the work to be forwarded to them. But in agile,
Yeah.
it's not like that. Like you work on one sprint, finish that part, pass it to the next team while you take the sprint 2 and then sprint 3. So it's always changing, and like I think the time also reduces drastically. Plus, if there's something going wrong in the step 4, like where it's already on code, they can immediately come back to you and be like, oh, there's something wrong in the strategy or in the design. So let's fix that. So things like that.
So did you like face any challenges as a lead designer? So any like challenges you faced so far, and how did you deal with?
Yeah.
At least-
So I've been a lead just for a year, for your information. But like overall, in the last 8 years, I think people management is something not taught in design schools or any schools for that matter, unless I guess if you do MBA. But again, people management, client management, stakeholder management is something that I learned on ground.
Yeah.
Initially, again, as I said, 70 plus nationalities. So everybody has their nuances and like what is culturally fit, culturally not fit. So that was a learning curve for me. Still is like
But sorry for interruption, but you have done like a group work, na, during the
Yes.
Yes,
but again, that was Indians at the end, and Indians have a way of doing things, and we understand, and we kind of, even if we don't understand each other's language, but there it was more like the Emirati culture is a bit different. Like they believe in like a very hierarchical way of working. So initially, like you're fresh out of design school, everything's like flat for you, right? And then suddenly you're back to the pyramid, and that was one challenge. But nonetheless, I learned the ways of overcoming it.
Is there any like a kind of is like a challenges you face? Like is there any reward kind of
I guess
points?
Yeah.
You can like give an example. Like
Yeah, I guess also people, like as the downside, like working with people, I really enjoy meeting people from different cultures, not just for work but outside work as well. And that was a reward, I guess, just being able to meet different cultures. Like we would have these lunch breaks and share food and things like that. So I guess less of design, more of like people is
Yeah. So during lunchtime or something, do you like talk about kind of like where the client meeting?
For sure.
Can you share this idea when you are?
Yeah.
And
So we used to have these breakfast Monday mornings. So someone would get breakfast, or like the office would arrange breakfast, and we would show like something which we are doing outside of work, like our hobby, our passion, something like that. So that was nice. Lunch break sometimes could also get political because people want. We are humans at the end, right? And like we had instances where people have banged doors and left the lunchroom because they got offended or things like that. So part of the learning process, I would say. But
so like this nowadays, like everybody talking about UI UX, there's a revolution,
yes,
So what do you say about this?
I would say two things that I see at my workplace which would drastically change the way at least we build websites, apps, things like that is first generative AI.
Like AR or
Yes.
VR,
Yes.
something like that.
Yes.
What are the roles in
Yes,
UX
for sure.
currently? Yeah.
So generative AI definitely, and it's changing every week. Like there's no rule book, there's no guidebook. There are only YouTube channels and people who explore you refer to. But that's one thing which I feel I'm not going to design on a computer anymore. Like in the next 5 to 10 years, I have to be really good at prompt writing, which means I should be able to write to the computer what I want it to create for me. So my role is now I see, and especially like as a UX designer, I think UI still, or like visual or like art side still needs some creativity, but like from a structure UX point of view, I do see that it will be automated in the near future. but you need to be really good with your words, the way you write your prompts.
The computer should understand your, should be sync the
Yes.
machine,
Yes.
machine learning.
Machine learning,
Yeah.
right? So that's how I see it happening in the near future. Of course, it's if I had to compare it, it's to digital payments versus cash, right? Cash hasn't gone anywhere today, but you still do digital payments and you're equally comfortable with both. There are use cases where you would use one versus the other.
So, kind of, as you said, like the prompt, like especially this, the visual part, actually this Mid-Journey.
DALL-E Mid-Journey.
Yeah. So, can you just kind of suggest some more, like, kind of, do you have something in your mind?
Yes. So I would say, okay, I'll just give you a brief idea. So in my head, it's DPG. So G is generative AI, what we are doing. There is D and P, which is diagnostic AI and predictive AI. This is something more like at industry, factory level, when people find issues in, let's say, car parts, right? Predictive is where you predict future trends, things like that.
Yeah.
But generative AI, the Gen AI, is something which is right now caught up with your chat GPT and things like that.
Yeah.
And Mid-Journey or DALL-E is the image version of the same thing. Like instead of text, it will be image.
So, because nowadays, this all software, so-called this, like a Blender, let's say Blender, whatever, India's suit or whatever, all those
Right.
render, kind of
So I
product design softwares.
Understood.
So, they're going to be outdated, I guess,
No, I'll tell you. I have an answer to that. So one would be something where it's like DALL-E or Mid-Journey, where you write a text prompt to the computer, and the computer will generate images based on Google Images or any other images that are available to them. But there's another part. Let's say, I don't know if you've heard of Adobe Firefly.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like an integrated tool, an AI bot within your existing Photoshop.
Photoshop.
Yeah. So I see that both will run in parallel for photo fixing or like images, video editing.
Yeah.
If you've heard of deepfakes, these days it's like trending. People, you don't even know these guys are not real, right? They look like Obama is talking to you or Trump is talking to you, but they are not. Like it's all video generated. So there are some tools for that. I can provide you the full list, but Mid-Journey, Lexica are the ones that I use. Firefly for photo editing. There's some video based. I'm not so much into this side of things, but I have the list. I'll share it with you.
Yes. Okay, so what do you like? Do you have any advice to the like a new generation, who want to be like a UI UX designer in your future as a career options? So what do you suggest them? Like what career path or exactly what skills they should?
I would say there are two sides I see it. One is like your core skills or like technical skills, and then one is like your soft skills or like communication, things like that. So I would say in terms of core skills, it's always good to start ground up, know your principles. Design, universally, the principles will never change, irrespective of graphic, product, animation, filmmaking. So the basic principles will still remain the same. In terms of the tools, I have changed 4 tools in my career. So they keep changing every time. Right now, we are using Figma if UX designers are listening. So Figma is the go-to tool. Miro is another option.
For the, kind of information architecture to build up,
Yes. But then there are AI tools which now, like Miro has AI within it. So it helps you design better. That's even Figma has some plugins which, again, you can integrate. And in terms of the soft skills, I think just openness to learn new things, adapt as time change, and just not like ability to relearn whatever you've learned, learn that, but like be okay to relearn. Like
so like a lot of technical things we discussed so far.
Yes.
So let's I would like to take you to the maybe we can recall some kind of experience from the campus life.
Yes.
So can you explain, maybe I had taken one of your major courses,
Yes,
packaging design.
I remember.
So if you can remember something, recall. I forgot totally what was your product, but I was very kind of, normally I used to be packaging normal, kind of very stereotype kind of ideas. Always I reject.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Come back with something very unique or something.
Yeah.
I used to throw some kind of very weird kind of ideas. Why not this? Why not that? Will you remember?
I have an exact example that I remember.
Yeah.
So to be honest with you, when I sir had so he was a graphic design faculty. I was a product design student. So we had a course where a graphic designer and a product designer come together and design a packaging. So the product designer designs the structure and the graphic designer does the image and like everything on top of it. So my partner was Satej Murik. I don't know if you remember Satej.
Yeah, the watercolor.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So both of us, I don't know, for some reason partnered together, and he's like a cool hippie guy. Like he does amazing watercolor art, and like he has a completely like
Artistic.
chill rock star punk kind of a vibe. And I go to him with this Satyanarayan Puja Khali, some product that I designed in my first year, and I'm like, can we do a packaging for this? For 2 minutes, he just stared at me. He was not a very expressive person and a very kind-hearted person. So he didn't want to deny me upfront, right? And he's like, let's do a guitar pick packaging. Like that's more like his vibe. And I was like, okay. So we go to Sir with both the ideas, and Sir was like, okay, like two completely opposite products. Like how do I pick one that you guys? So you were very like still compassionate. I remember you were like, okay, think over it, go back. Brainstorm ideas for both. Let's see where do you get. At some point, we'll through the journey. So you never had like this hard stop timeline. Ki nahi, idhar hi karna hai. Take your time. If you guys are interested, you're smart enough people. You can maybe design both. That I remember that was something there. Being the bossy coach that I am, I convinced Satej, leave his guitar because like I'll help you with the structure. It's a very simple box. Like as a product design, there's nothing much to be done on this. You do amazing graphics on it. Let's take the Satyanarayan Puja thing. And this kind of him, he was like, I think for the first 3 weeks he didn't turn up. He was like, you carry on, I'll do my guitar pick. But at some point, but whenever we were in front of Sir for the reviews, we used to be like, oh, we are a team and like amazing things. But at some point, Satish, I don't know how his mind changed to work on that, and he did some amazing graphics for the product. And basically, I don't know if you guys know what's a Satyanarayan Puja, but they put like banana stems, 4 banana stems on 4 corners. And the product kind of helps you put it very quickly without the hassle of a thread and all of that. Created like a temple dome with these 4 domes shaped wooden boxes, wooden blocks. And then there was like this negative space that was left, and we didn't even care like about it. And Sir was like, what do you do with this little negative space? Like that level of detail Sir was like, I think inclined towards, and like giving these curves and things like that. And then we put like these haldi, kumkum, supari, like a 4-tiered tray that opens up and like you use it. So I think that was a fun project.
Yeah, because I remember as I'm recalling actually, because I was just surprised because she was very smart, student or something. So I was expecting something very international or something like this. Just came with very traditional like puja and all. So I was looking at her. So I think like I cannot relate, like something. I love it. I want to do this something like okay. So do it something, but it's not very typical, very traditional way, very traditional product. But you can portray like it's like a old wine in a new packaging, something like that.
Something like that.
So I normally encourage students something, but like one go is like okay, fine, do it. It's not like that. So something I was telling her today, your senior, no?
Yes.
Dhruv, he wanted to do packaging for Rolex watch, and it came next day. It's like a typical box, Rolex, this, that. And like, come on, Rolex. You know what is the cost of Rolex? Like 50 lakhs, let's say, on an average. And you are giving a mithai ka dabba. What is this, sir? Do something into like, kya kare sir, kuch bata, like something like that. I said, like, then we'll come again. Like, think about, do some kind of ideation and come back tomorrow. So I was thinking like, you can just, I just thought of like, I normally, as I said, throw like a very random ideas, very weird ideas. Why not like it? Because Rolex watch, they sponsor this Wimbledon tennis, So like, why not something like when relate, connect with them, the entire packaging could be your shape of your statue or something. Oh, it's a great idea. So like, do it something like maybe it's open up something, open up layer by layer. And you will see the Rolex watch kept on the grass look kind of coat. It was like a miniature of like an entire statue. So, and it got so many hours. They did it. And because of that, he got a like internship there in Karim Nasir. And now he became a celebrity. Collaboration and team dynamics, I just said. So, like, how do you like cope up with this, kind of situation, the collaboration? Like, you did like, with product, your graphic design partner.
Yes.
It's like a small collaboration. Yeah.
Exactly.
In that, yeah. So
I think it also depends on your personality type and like if you are an introvert or an extrovert. Generally, extroverts get along very quickly with people, but like for me, or like what I've observed in a work environment is you need all kinds of people in your team, and you should be very clear about it that there's nobody above or below you. You're all on the same page first, like be it your boss or like your juniors, right? So just having that mindset set across the team, I think does help collaborate everyone better. And for me, there have been instances where I disagree with my teammates, and I find it very healthy to not agree to everything, even if my boss or the vice president is saying something. Because at the end, the consumer or the customer or the end user is something that we're making everything for, right? If there's ever a dispute, usability testing, user testing is our go-to. So we make 2 prototypes, A/B karke, like show them, and but in general, collaboration for me comes very naturally. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I'm okay with some people not respecting me in the moment, but I'm fine ki at the end the product is going to be a good thing. So let go of ego. I think it also depends how your managers are, like people on a higher authority, and if they cultivate such kind of an environment. Like I remember my boss, we used to have like these, we used to call it roses, buds and thorns. So after every project, like because generally we would have 2 or 3 week projects or sometimes longer. So we would have a retro. So we learned what went wrong. So we would get post-its and like 3 colors, roses, buds and thorns. So roses is everything that went well in the project. Buds is something which is scope of improvement. And then thorns is like everything that didn't go well. And sometimes people would write shitty things like you didn't speak to me properly and like, you didn't pay attention to what I was saying. And sometimes there would be real problems like, we are not getting support from the tech side or something like that. And we would be sometimes like these crybabies going to our boss, right? Like with all these complaints in our thorns section. 90% of the times we would be like, okay, now boss, tell us like what should we do about it? She's like, in problems में से कितने तुम खुद solve कर सकते हो? How many of the problems can you solve by yourself? I would say 80% of the times it was just we needed a space to vent out. Whatever the little things that bothered us, and we could solve it internally. There are only like 10 or 15 things that really needs leadership involvement or something where we need a budget, let's say, for doing something. To me is something that you have these kind of dynamics put in place or systems also. It makes it easier because not everyone is outspoken and like will put out their opinions. But when it was on this post-it, even the quietest person in our team could express what they wanted to say, right? And read it out loud. Anonymously. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. So is there any like, personal inspirations, like, kind of influences, like do have something, because there are so many artists, so many designers came across, might have. And is there any particular something who could be like maybe many of them could be your, like, are there ideals?
Right. So I've always struggled. Yes. I think I've always struggled with this. Should I idolize one person or like take good parts from multiple people and like create like this ideal persona, right? I never looked up to like one person or in a one specific industry. Maybe also because I'm not like an artist who draws, paints or takes pictures. I'm more like a strategic and like structure and like wireframes and things like that, right? But still, I would say top on my mind, Indira Nooyi, CEO of PepsiCo. She's always been an inspiration for me, like since day one. Though she's not a designer or anything, but like that's a personality that kind of resonates with me. And then there's this fashion designer called Stella McCartney. I read about her a few years ago. So she is a typical luxury brand like your Tom Ford and like design. But all the products are circularly developed. So during COVID, most of the businesses, luxury businesses shut, right? Because nobody was buying like a 50 lakh bag or a 10 lakh bag. But she had thought about it way ago in terms of their supply chain because they produce only a few bags a year. So their business also didn't impact, and like it's also a very sustainable, circular, yet a very luxury. So I think I like Dieter Rams has always been, Johnny Ive looks up to him, so why can't so I definitely, I said that, you are my also role model.
During your college days, so who are your like favorite faculty or maybe like a kind of spirit, like other than the Dimant?
Adiman sir, like he was the head director of our college, so everybody.
Because he's a really like a great product designer.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah.
I guess there was another faculty, I forgot her name, Utkarsha ma'am. She was never my teacher. I never learned anything from her, but her personality kind of resonated. And I did like a one-page colloquium. And I was like, I want to work with this teacher once in my 4 years of college. So I think I did work with her. And then Sanjay Jain sir had his ways of like design. So he was inspiring. But Satish Gokhale has been my mentor. And
he's a great product designer. One of the finest product designer in India. You know.
And Harshit sir, how can I forget? He's not a designer. He was like an admin person, but like he was the person who said, Shivani, I think you should go to UX UI. That's you need a person to pivot you in the right direction. And I was like, no, I'll go to the grassroots level, change the world, right?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of a freshly graduate. He's like, you do that when the time is right. That's also the right place for you. But I see you will flourish in a corporate, in a structured organization or at this point in your life. So I guess, yes.
So a lot of actually, to me or maybe to you, like maybe there is no difference, like, any discipline. Design, like as I said, like design principles and practices are very common. So only thing is like, last in the final outputs, maybe, you have to take a different route. Otherwise, the entire the approach, entire kind of initial stages, the same thing, design thinking we normally follow. So, but a lot of people, they think like, a lot of product designers, like the physical product designer, they switch over to UI, UX. So, I mean, to me, it is okay. There's no difference actually. It's easy. But then if you can tell like a lot of youngsters, the aspiring students or, something, they're still getting confused.
Right.
कि product design ले लेंगे, फिर UX में अगर demand है, something.
Correct.
So I've been telling like you take anything, whatever you can do it, future. Like, so what is your kind of, advice on that? Yeah.
I would say more than the discipline, who is going to teach you is very important because their values, their thinkings get brushed down onto you and they stay for a long time. So if someone's going to a design school or aspiring to study design, I would say go visit the campus, talk to the faculty members who are actually going to teach you and add value to your life. And that's one thing. And definitely, I would say between a communication design and industrial design, there is a left-right brain kind of connection. So if you feel that you're more logically thinking, technical, and you enjoy numbers, let's say for example, I'm not saying I hate numbers, but still I'm good at like structured, organized things. Whereas if you ask me to just creatively do something like a painting or something, that's not naturally to me. So if you feel that you enjoy like, doing things on the spur, like if your personality is that kind, communication is like filmmaking, animation, graphic design. If you enjoy art and, like doing art, I would say communication is a more fit job than something more like UX or...
But to me, actually, UX actually is like a combination of multiple disciplines.
Definitely.
Information architecture.
Yes.
And, the communication.
Yeah, you should be liking words and like structure and like, how things are placed. If you enjoy organizing your rooms or like, something like that.
System design.
Yeah, as in that's something an industrial design has to do day in and day out. Like take huge chunks of information and put it in a proper structure for everyone to be able to use it.
Because what we see, like, the common man, like let's say mobile application, they see just like a tips up like an iceberg,
Yes.
So it's huge, entire, a lot of design process have done, a lot of multiple aspects. That's why I call it like holistic. So, and then final product, could be like, 1 point they have to meet.
And like, though I've left product design, there are projects where I have to sometimes design a kiosk. Like they came to me with a money recharge kiosk. And they asked me to do the, you studied industrial design? Okay, fine.
Do it.
So it's very, sometimes they'll ask me to also make ads. And I'm okay with it, like, because I have the basic skills, but I guess not to stress much about it, but at least this basic distinction between visual and industrial is there for sure.
So, like, because you are like kind of your very responsible, position right now in leading a team in Accenture as a world-class multinational company. And you have a family also.
Yes.
So, like, how do you balance your personal life and professional life? There's a big,
Yeah.
everybody's struggling, especially in creative field. Yeah.
I agree. I think work-life balance is something that's across industries. Like people talk about it. But I did learn something called as work-life integration. So there are some people who can work 9 to 5, and then that's it. They'll go back to their family.
Yeah.
And I think kind of that kind of a person. But my husband, he's a work-life integrator. I'll be shopping at the mall and he's doing his calls and multitasking in a way, right? So I guess there's no one answer like how to do work-life balance. Everyone's figuring out their own way, I guess, and in what stage of life you're in. But I did learn something about this 4-burner theory. So what they say is कि एक गैस है उसमें 4 बर्नर हैं और वो गैस का एक ही सिलेंडर है. There's just one cylinder. So when you switch on a gas to cook something, you can't have flames on all 4 of the what do you call the
Yeah.
burners at the same time. Sometimes you'll have to reduce some flame somewhere to give more flame somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So the same is with life, I guess. Like you need to know at this stage in life what is the most important thing for you. What time do you want to dedicate to that?
Yeah.
Right? So I guess we figure it out, and I am not shy of asking help for help.
Yeah.
Like even if there are some gender stereotypes in the current world, sometimes I can't do it, and I ask my husband, and he's here to help. He's my partner, so of course he will help me.
One more thing, actually, let me ask, add another question. You look fit. You look as fit as when we used to be a student. How did you mean? That's also walking is very hectic
I'm
life.
so happy you're saying that, but I gained 15 kilos after getting married. I married a Punjabi. I'm a Maharashtrian, and I didn't know what I was getting into. The samosas and the almond halwas, and my mother-in-law is a passionate cook. So 2 months of after the marriage, I got fed amazing food, and I kept saying to my husband, every day I could see my weight going up the scale. I'm like, 1 kilo, a half kilo, 1 kilo. I'm like, what's happening to my whole body? But he said, you are in a happy stage right now. Enjoy whatever is happening. Even if you're gaining weight, that's okay. We'll go to the gym together and work out.
So what is your a kind of So is there anything kind of you have some future goals or ambitions or something you go with your flow, something, or you're happy I am working in the Accenture, I'm going to be retired in this company. You want to move.
That question. That question. I guess there's no one fixed answer.
Okay.
I used to be a very because I'm a UX designer, I like control and I like to put everything in a box and in a structure. So I was a person who I used to bullet journal and put a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan and a 15-year plan.
Yeah.
Retirement plan tak wo pura mera ek miro board ready tha. I'm that kind of a person. What I want. Itne paise chahiye is age pe. But I stopped having fun in life because I always wanted to go with that timeline structure. And it kind of started harming my mental health if I didn't reach that goal, if I didn't get that promotion, if I didn't get that salary at that age. You start self-harming. So I reached a point in life where I was like, yaar, ठीक है मतलब
जो चल रहा है
as long as you have good friends, you have food on your table, you have
good job and all, what else you want
in the society,
exactly.
Things will happen. I'm not saying I'm going to forget all my goals and be like a hippie and travel the world. I would love to do that, but no. Of course, there is a vision in life where I want to be, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay. I believe in lives and afterlives. So whenever the right time happens for me, things will.
So what do you think? Because this, you know me, and I just setting up this Odissi School of Design, and you are also very active volunteer in Odisha Design Council from very first day beginning. She's helping us. She was very active in also Pune Design Festival and Odisha Design Week. Also, she contributed a lot. So how do you see, how do you foresee Odissi School of Design, let's say 5 years down the line?
I think this was my first time visiting the campus and I love the...
It's not campus, it's just...
Anyway. For me, it's a campus, but as in the set, the place, it stands out from all the neighborhood. It's a gem of its own, I feel.
Really?
So
Okay.
I that's my personal opinion. And the energy is nice. I think if we have more such conversations and meet people, I think this place would even
More lively.
be more lively. Just looking forward to once it starts. And I guess even the details of like the light switch kind of tells me that things that will be taught over here will be quality.
Exactly.
Over
Good example,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And you did mention that Bauhaus is something that is started from a small building, and then it's like a huge movement of its own. So I do see that happening over here. And I would like to add, because I've been traveling to a lot of temples and craft villages in and nearby. So I hope that we can bring an international standard, yet keeping the traditional local connections and crafts, and enhance that even further. Like, because there's so much over here that I was at the Puri temple yesterday, and my designer is like, isme system design hota agar ye matki, and you know the way they were selling things and like the things that were done here would be awesome. And it's like, no, they're doing fine. Stop designing everything, right? They have been running this world for more than thousands and millions of the years. Of course, there's always a scope of improvement in every place that you see. And if I feel students learn here and go back to their own villages or city, like places nearby, they will enhance that quality of life. And that's something definitely will be a value add. But I'm looking forward to
Let me also add on, like, Odisha has a huge tribal belt.
Yes.
So if you go to tribal thing, they are like a born designers,
Yes.
So basically, whatever their lifestyle, the way they cook, the way they wash their cloth, agriculture, whatever, that's a lot of, as you say, like a system design everywhere.
Exactly.
So they are not designer, like, kind of taught.
It comes naturally to them. Like,
Natural.
it's just that we want
That's like, it could be very, like, inspirational aspects.
My husband loves anime, and like I have started watching a lot of anime. So there's this girl, a character who enjoys creating, like, she's like not a godfather per se, but personality who likes to create better gems. So she always sees these kids, the samurai kids, as like these rocks. She's like, I'm going to polish them and making them into a diamond. So I feel the school will be a place to create diamonds for sure.
I hope so. Like, I'm really kind of, very much sure I will. As a teacher, I'm ready to, like, give my best, something, whatever, I can. So I don't, like, believe in numbers, like, or maybe it's not like a business plan. I'm not going to business. Money, everybody needs money, but money will come, but that's not my criteria.
Right.
So my role is to teach, spread knowledge, whatever I have, Still, I'm also learning. I'm also learning, let me tell you. So I'm also learning from my students also, because it's like a two-way process, design, teaching is like any field you can say, but especially in design, because there's a press minds, sometimes, there's, as you say, like, she came up with this traditional things also. So looking at her or something, when see the way she explained the idea, what she's going to do, so I'm really impressed. So I said in one go, okay, so I just little bit like I wanted to like put some hard work, not like just randomly, showing something doing some time pass. So I said, okay, so try it out, something.
By the way, that product I never bought it to market, but my parents still use that product till date in our house. And my mom keeps saying, when are you going to manufacture it? Because she loves the packaging, and it was not even the real material, right? Craft paper से just एक prototype बनाया था, double paper लगा के. अभी भी वो मेरे घर पे आप कभी भी आओगे, मम्मी use करती है, and she's there. So that kind of longevity of a product, and like is something, like, thanks to you for giving us that kind of.
Thank you very much once again.
Sir.
And I have small souvenir to give you to remember us forever. So this small gift from Odisha School of Design, Odisha Design Council.
Thank you.
Thank you for your memory. And hopefully we will will be in position to invite you to spend some time with our students. We'll interact, we'll give some ideas, we'll conduct some workshop, or we lecture or something like that. So definitely, and please do come Odisha. Whatever you visited in a couple of days, not good enough. So lot of things to do, lot of things to see.
Yes.
Please keep coming.
For sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you all of you.